last but not least, Sean Verma, presented by Sid Shaw.
Thanks, Amanda. All right, definitely not least. When you think about the greatest combination nephrologist, athlete, sports enthusiast of our time, one name comes up over and over and over and over again. That, of course, is Sean Verma. Friend, colleague, physician, healer, brother, son, teacher, student of the game. How do you even capture his full reach? And so if you had to choose just one word to capture what is uniquely Sean, where would you even begin? I know I found it challenging, but also very engaging. So, like many of the other folks that spoke tonight, I wanted some perspective. I wanted to know what everybody else got to see of Sean in different angles. And so naturally, I reached out to those who know him best. And I'm going to just share two of the responses that I got in the interest of time, because my program director went over her time. Don't tell her. So first I spoke with Michelle, Sean's beloved wife. Sean, her number one word to capture you was gregarious. She said that you've always been the life of the party, and I can really see that. And naturally, I thought, well, that sounds pretty fun. And so I wondered, what are things like for you outside of work? And so let me just kind of throw this idea out there to the group. Can anyone guess what the first thing Sean and Michelle talk about when they get home from work every day? First thing that they talk about every day.
Echocardiograms.
Cardiorenal syndrome.
Good.
DRRT.
All excellent guesses. But no, it's actually the most important and age-old question, which is how many cookies, plural, did Sean eat during noon conference that day? And I instantly connected with him, because I think we all know that feeling when you go into that break room and they're just sitting there. And so we talked about that for a little while. And then I spoke with Rachel, and I'll use her own words, actually. So, quote, when I first met Sean, I thought he was the most polite person I'd ever met. He called everyone sir or ma'am. And coming from New York, I thought, who the F is this guy? Found many opportunities over the course of fellowship to hear him curse, don't worry. But when we first met, I remember really wondering, how could anyone be so damn polite? Wonderful guy, and I love the benefit of reading echoes with his wife, or with his wife there to explain them to me. So that's the colleague side perspective. But I still wanted to get to know him better. And so Sean was kind enough to take some time and speak with me. And so if you'll indulge me, I'd like to share a little bit of what I've learned. Just hang on just 1 second for me.
Who's speaking?
Thank you. Everybody, I've had the opportunity to speak with one of the greats of our time, Sean Verma. Sean sat down with me and shared some of his wisdom. Many of you are familiar with the format of this type of interview, and Sean, this is your audience here, so if you don't mind, I'm going to share your words. I asked Sean a series of 10 questions. Number 1, what's your favorite word? Sean said, resilience. What is your least favorite word? Sean said, resilience. I said, Sean, I'm not sure if you understand how this exercise works. No, I'm just kidding. He said, quit it. I said, Sean, what turns you on? And I really didn't see this one coming, but he said, Taco Bell. Now, there was an awkward silence after that. I said nothing. He said nothing. And eventually, after much awkwardness, he changed his answer to confidence. So I guess we'll go with that. Sean, what turns you off? Nothing. What sound or noise do you love? The rain. What sound or noise do you hate? The fire alarm in my apartment. What is your favorite curse word? Shoot. What profession other than your own would you love to attempt? Professional athlete. We all knew that was coming. What profession would you not like to do? Desk job. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates? I love this answer. Sean said, I appreciate the way you carried and conducted yourself. And I really feel like that is what would be said, Sean. I think that's how we all feel about you. From the bonus round, could you live without the internet? Not at all. This would be his fastest answer of the day. Something you could teach me. He said, the nuances of basketball. Sean, what's your most guilty pleasure? Sweets. This would be his second favorite, fastest answer of the day. I asked anything in particular. He said all things chocolate. Sean, what is your spirit animal and why? Elephant, because of the intellect. Sean, what is your favorite holiday and why? Diwali, because it's the best chance to get the entire family together. I love that. Sean, what's your favorite book? The Harry Potter series. Classic. Sean, do you have any hobbies you want us to know about? Quote unquote, I am a major foodie. I will refer you back to the Taco Bell comment. Sean, what's your current state of mind? Content. Which living person did you admire the most? He said, Michelle. And she wasn't sitting next to him. I said, do you feel safe? Are you okay right now? He said, she's at Hub. I swear to God, I really mean it.
His wife. Oh.
Now, I don't think that it can be a coincidence that I was watching the final episode of The Last Dance this morning. For those that don't know, it's a 10-episode documentary about the Bulls' 97-98 season and Michael Jordan. And watching that documentary, it's really hard not to think about your workplace, your colleagues, your collective victories and battles. And so putting it all together, if I had to pick one word, when I think of Sean, the very first thing that comes to mind is team. The word is team. And that's unique. So all kidding aside, my most recent memory of Sean is being on service together, really in the thick of it, each kind of juggling our own burdens during this early phase of the COVID disaster. And we were both operating on fumes. I mean, we were really, unsure of what was expected of us, trying to do the best that we could, surrounded by some degree of chaos inside and outside the hospital. And I cannot imagine a better person to have been working with. Sean, you were calm, you were engaged, you were thoughtful, and you smoothed out the turbulent waters. And anyone who can do that for you, you have to really appreciate. So much love. It gives me a tremendous amount of comfort knowing you're going to be out there taking care of patients, because I know that no matter how challenging things get or how esoteric the case gets, Michelle will be there to help you figure it out. Honestly, Sean, you did a wonderful job. I will keep this brief and just say that we really loved having you, and congratulations on doing an outstanding job. Cheers.
Cheers. Appreciate that. I appreciate all the kind words, and I really do like that word team, from someone who grew up playing team sports since I was 5 years old. I really think I found a great team here at Penn where everybody contributed, the faculty, fellows, everybody. So obviously I'm not going to be too far. I'm going to be staying in Philadelphia, doing private practice here locally, so hope to stay in touch with everybody here. Thank you guys so much.
Congratulations, Sean.
Thank you.
So that concludes our roast.